Hey there, I'm William with Common Motor, that's common-motor.com. We are well into our Long Haul CB450 project. In fact, we're so far into it that we're in Columbus, Ohio right now at the Common Motor Satellite Station #1. We've got 3 of our shop members here, Brendan, Tom, and myself. Brendan and Tom are going to ride back to Houston from here. Tom's on his personal CB360. Brendan's on the new shop R&D 550 here. I'm going to continue on to Minnesota before I go back to Houston, so it's going to be about a 5,000 mile round trip altogether. They're doing some work on their bikes, and I'm getting ready to do a number of upgrades on mine. You can probably tell that Tom and I have both outfitted our vintage Hondas with some sweet highway bars and sissy bars, not only so we can kind of relax and put our feet up, but so we can strap all our luggage to something on the back. So I'm going to put on a different set of bars. I'm going to try an electronic ignition prototype and a couple of other upgrades, so stay tuned with us. So, as you can see, Tom and I both found some highway bars at the swap meet. That and these taller handlebars are going to help give me a more upright riding position, which is going to be nice, clocking thousands of miles. Swapping out these bars did require a longer brake line and a longer clutch cable. I was able to reuse the original throttle cable though. Beyond that, I've put an electronic ignition on the bike, so if you want to come over here. So this beta prototype of our Shockwave electronic ignition system is here mounted on the 450 this time. We got the modules back here, we got little blinky LEDs on them, and then we got the actual plate with the sensors mounted here where the points go, and it's running great. So Brendan and Tom will be back in Houston soon to pick back up with the normal day-to-day. I'm going to go on to Minnesota and back, and I'll try to keep you all updated as much as I can. So see you on the road.
Here in Detroit, Michigan, my friend's garage. I'm having some problems with the float bowl seat here. I took it out overnight, it was leaking. It's a brand new one, but it was leaking. They expand when they absorb with fuel. So I took it out, hit it with a heat gun, left it out overnight. It shrunk down a little bit, but not too much. So hopefully it won't leak too bad. At least it's just the float bowl and not my tank or petcock or anything. So there's a finite amount of fuel that can leak out of it. Checked on my chain and I topped off the oil. So I think we're pretty good. I'm gonna go head north into Michigan, hit up the UP. Alright, so the flip hole gaskets are still leaking pretty bad. Stopped at my local O'Reilly's and picked up some gasket material. Tried my hand at making my own with a pocket knife, so see if they do the trick. Okay, I just crossed the Mackinac Bridge, which means I'm in the upper peninsula of Michigan. Bike's running pretty good, just gave it a clean at the coin op. Got an oil leak for sure, so I'm keeping it topped off every other gas stop or so. In Detroit, I had to fix a leaky float bowl gasket, so I just went to the auto parts store and got some stuff and cut it out with a pocket knife. Ever since we replaced this weak coil in Columbus, it's been running great, so you know, fingers crossed it'll get me back to Texas. So I made it to Copper Harbor, Michigan. Northernmost point in Michigan, northernmost point on our long haul trip, and certainly the furthest I've ever been away from home on a motorcycle. Our trusty Honda CB450 is holding up great. Had to fix a couple of things along the way, but she's holding up. I'm gonna go ahead and knock on wood that she'll get me back to Texas all right. Turkish Shopco Econo Foods. Alright, so after Michigan, I spent some time with my family in Minnesota. Since there's not a whole lot between Minnesota and Houston in terms of scenic rides, I decided to just go for an iron butt, 1,000 miles in 24 hours to get home. So that's what I'm doing. I'm about halfway, a little bit past halfway. I just did some maintenance, tightened the chain, and topped off the oil and everything. So got a few more 100 miles to go. Should get to Houston around 10 or 11 tonight. So wish me luck. I'm back here in sunny Houston, Texas, including the shakedown run. Me and this 1974 Honda CB450 made it over 5,000 miles from Houston to the northernmost tip in Michigan and back. In the last and final installment of our Long Haul series, we'll go over the bike, post-ride, and figure out what needs to be done to keep it on the road. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel and newsletter. I'm William with Common Motor. See you next time.